Have you ever been involved in a project that started well but went off track and didn't achieve the desired outcomes? In this episode, we are exploring the role of a reflexive monitor. Maybe not something that is on your usual list of people you need for a project that is focused on enabling change, but one that could be quite useful.
Yes, so I came across this idea when I was involved with the Primary Innovation Project in New Zealand a few years ago. We've talked about this project before in the episode on co-innovation. In that episode, we talked about what co-innovation is and how to apply it as an enabler of change. One of the roles we identified as important was a reflexive monitor, and we thought it was worth spending a bit more time on this role. Denise, you've actually been a reflexive monitor, so please tell us about your experience.
Sure, John. Well, a reflexive monitor is an independent individual or organisation that is focused on helping all stakeholders involved in a co-innovation project to actively participate. A reflexive monitor observes group processes and suggests appropriate changes to facilitate effective interaction and learning. A reflexive monitor keeps everyone focused on the ambition for change, the reason why the project is underway. They keep the project focused on the vision. It's like the annoying person who is always saying, now will this move us towards our why or away from our why? But in the middle of projects, it's really easy to get sidetracked and go down rabbit holes that appear interesting, but are actually not very useful when measured against the vision for the project. So everything that a reflexive monitor does helps support learning in the team and for the project to help make sure the project succeeds.
It sounds challenging, Denise, but that can be really useful. What do reflexive monitors actually do during a project?
A reflexive monitor will always be going through the process of observation, analysis, reflection, adaptation, preferably with the project team. They'll be asking questions, helping align actions with the long-term thinking for the project, and they'll be contributing to other monitoring and evaluation going on in the project. There are a whole heap of tools available, things like timeline analysis, reflection, those kinds of things. Barbara van Merle and her colleagues in the Netherlands wrote a whole book on this, and they go into detail on some of those tools that they thought were useful for reflexive monitoring. In my experience, I think that a good reflexive monitor will actually be someone who is trained in facilitation, because that is essentially the way a reflexive monitor should be acting and the type of tools that are in the toolbox for reflexive monitoring. And a reflexive monitor is usually only a part-time role in the project, maybe 20% of a full-time role. It can be tempting to also help with other parts of the project, but it's actually best just to focus on the reflexive monitoring role. A few of us wrote about our experiences, and that's also available online, so we'll provide those links in the show notes.
So there you have it, reflexive monitoring. It's a role that isn't always part of your usual project team, but if you're thinking about co-innovation and using this approach, then it's worth reading up on this and giving it a go.
So you've heard our thoughts. Now we'd like to hear yours. Add a comment below this episode and tell us your experiences with reflexive monitoring. Have you been a reflexive monitor? Have you had a reflexive monitor in your project? What did you learn? We don't want this just to be a one-way conversation, so please join in by sharing your thoughts with us.
Thanks folks for joining us on this Enablers of Change episode. Remember to subscribe if you'd like to know when new episodes are available. All the best till we meet again.